I missed out with point 0.5 marks for professorship. So that was a major setback for me. I bounced back. I gave TOEFL, GRE. I applied to universities abroad. I got accepted in all the universities in UK and US. But in those days, humanities did not have much scholarship facilities. Finally, I had to give up. See, I belong to a very middle class family, and I did not want to take money from my parents to go abroad and study because I have a brother. He was in school. His career was also there. I joined IBM's lead, and then things took a 360-degree turn when I did very well in the first two projects. I learned whatever needs to be learned about SAP, which was very new to me. I went on to become a member of the core SAP team. I learned a lot of tools also. Within 6 months, I was selected to go to Australia. After 7 months, we completed that project. I won a lot of awards, monetary awards, non-monetary awards. That project went on to become best project in IBM. Suddenly, I was quite famous. And I got a kind of celebrity status in the department. People might talk about work life balance and all those stuff, but what you really want to have is work life integration, not a balance. If you say that, well, after 10 I will not work or after 5 I will not work, it does not work like that because most of our clients are from another part of the world. Say no to certain things, but to work, never say no. Don't say that I will not do it. Not everyone embraces change, and then after some time they become very stagnant. Sometimes they are laid off, sometimes they are transferred to some lateral department, sometimes they are just there but do not have any kind of visibility and do not get promotion year after year after year. So that is why I always say be authentic, be willing to learn, be proactive, be flexible, and never ever stop learning.
Sammy, you had a very interesting career. You started off teaching and then moved on to instructional design. From there, you moved on to companies where you have set up and scaled your teams. And now you are not only handling the learning and development part of it, but you are also managing the technical projects, right? You are handling those
Mm.
kind of accounts. So that way, there have been so many transitions in your journey. But can you share your experience when you transitioned from one role to another and every time you picked up new skills? So, what's
Yeah.
been that experience like? And overall, what would you define as top five learnings for you?
A very good question. Yes. I always wanted to be an academician. Okay. So, if I might state that teaching has always been my first love till date, till date. So, yes, I wanted to be a professor, but unfortunately, I missed out with point 0.5 marks in the final of my master's. And that is how I was not eligible for sitting in the net, which is the eligible criteria for professorship, right? So that was a major setback for me in every way. But I bounced back. I gave TOEFL, GRE. I applied to universities abroad. I got accepted in all the universities in UK and US. But in those days, in 95, 96, humanities did not have much scholarship facilities. Okay. Though I got a Charles Wallace, I am one of the recipients of Charles Wallace scholarship from British Council, and I went abroad. That was way later, but I could not get a scholarship and had to defer. Like they deferred my seat for 3 years, and then finally I had to give up. See, I belong to a very middle class family. Okay. And I did not want to take money from my parents to go abroad and study because I have a brother also who is 5 years younger to me and he was in school, senior classes. So his career was also there. And though I had working parents, but it was not so much of earning capability that, I would borrow money and go abroad and study. And mine was humanities, and in humanities, there were zero scholarship. And I've tried very hard, trust me. So finally, what happened is that I gave up those seats. My dad wanted to help out, but I refused because that would entail a lot of sacrifices from my parents' end monetarily, and I did not want to do that. So, yeah, then I did my B.Ed and I taught part time in a college and then sat for the first state level school examination, which is which is mandatory in West Bengal, okay, and which is called School Service Commission. That was the first School Service Commission. I was very reluctant to sit for it, so much so I had made a lot of plans to skip it, but I got caught, and
Okay.
my father dragged me to the exam hall, and that is that. And then I gave the exam. I topped it among women from the eastern region, and I got selected for a very good school in Kolkata. It's a girls' school and it's under West Bengal board. Even though that school has a lot of history, a lot of the stage toppers have come out of that school. It had a lot of attention and a lot of visibility. I was very reluctant to join that because I was selected to work as a research assistant for an Oxford University professor who was coming to Shantiniketan to do his research work. I interviewed and got the position. The money was not much, but of course, I was like very, very proud to work with an Oxford professor. So I rather would do that than work in a government school. But no one heard, as you know, Bengali parents, how they are. And I had to join that school. Yeah, then I fell in love with the teaching profession. There was a lot of school politics, and I did not like the environment, the monotony of it, the day in and day out, the same kind of teaching, the same kind of methodology. And because I was at that point of time doing my MPhil from CIFL Hyderabad, so I knew a lot of teaching technologies, total methodologies. So I used to implement those in my classes. Then I got this opportunity to be selected for Charles Wallace Scholarship. And I went to Oxford to present my paper, and I was given a scholarship to also write about my entire journey and everything in British Council newsletters. After that, few years passed, and I was again selected for another scholarship, which was a full scholarship to teach for a course for the disability children. And there was only one scholarship. It was in the Dublin University when I won it. But they wanted NOC from my school. But the management did not give it. The car was ready to leave for the station, and the tickets were all sent to me from the department, government department. But I could not catch that train because they did not give that one NOC paper. So that broke my heart completely. And then I realized that if I cannot do anything for the teaching community, for my students, and I have to teach the same syllabus every year, no matter how much methodology I change, the content of the syllabus will not change, right? Because I was in the research field, and I have a lot of papers published in different fields, in testing, in bilingualism, and in referred journals also. So for me, education was my way to see how I can contribute to the academics. I realize that it is a limitation. But our mentality is that leaving a government job is not easy.
Mhm.
Not only parents, but everyone would think that you are a fool to leave a government job when you have got one. So during that period, I saw an advertisement from Tata Interactive Systems. They were opening their office in Kolkata, and they have written that teachers are also welcome. And that was the last day for submitting the application or apply for the job. So I went to a cyber cafe and I applied for the job, and then I forgot it. After 2 months, I got a call. I gave the exam the same day they interviewed me. And after 3 days, I got the appointment letter that I have to go to Bombay. They selected 80 people from Kolkata, and 1 whole month we were in training and very rigorous training. I must say that whatever I have learned on instructional design, I learned in those 1 month. That training was from morning 8 till 8 o'clock in the evening. And then you were given a lot of assignments. So it was just like college. Okay. So yeah, but I made very good friends and we all stayed together. We in the whole apartment building, top to bottom, all TIS people, and we had fantastic fun. And some of the best memories and some of my best friends are from those days. Thus, my corporate journey started, and within 1.5 year, I went up to a team lead. I was with them for almost 3 years. And then I got a call from IBM. I joined as a lead. And then things took a 360-degree turn when I did very well in the first two projects. Within 6 months, I was selected to go to Australia. After 7 months, we completed that project. I won a lot of awards, monetary awards, non-monetary awards. That project went on to become best project in IBM. Suddenly, I was quite famous. And I got a kind of celebrity status in the department. I went from project to project and I learned whatever needs to be learned about SAP, which was very new to me because TIS never did SAP.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I learned it. I went on to become a member of the core SAP team also. I won one of the department-wise SAP quiz challenge and all those stuff. So it was good for me. I learned a lot of tools also. Yeah, I was a fast learner and so I was leading projects after projects and traveling definitely. And then I got a call when I was in US that someone is coming to US from Accenture Consulting and they want to interview you in US only. On a Sunday I did go to meet that person, and the interview happened on a hotel lobby standing because there was no seat to sit there. So we stood there, I in my jeans and the person in his track suits, and we had that interview. And then I had the technical round. And after 2 months, I received one offer letter, which was very less money that they were offering me, and I had to relocate to Gurgaon. So I rejected it. And then there was nothing. And then in February, suddenly the HR called me and said, "We are revising your offer letter, and whatever you wanted, we are giving it to you. When can you join?" So it was a consulting, and I always wanted to do hardcore consulting part. That offer was good. I accepted and I joined. I shifted to Gurgaon and I continued with Accenture Consulting. I rose in ranks. I went on to become project manager, then program manager, and 8 years. Then I learned because there was two type of segregations or in Accenture. One is you are aligned to business development program manager part. Another is purely development part, capability development part. So that was selected based on merit and your work. So very few people were in BD part of it. So I was on the BD part of it. Thankfully, that made me learn the estimation part, the proposal part, and everything. And apart from that, I was also contributing in different other COE kind of work. So, I was doing the SAP gamification part. I was doing telestation, developing products like telestation and all those stuff. So Accenture has taught me a lot. And I was traveling around the world because I was single and no family attached. So every time anything happened, they will pick me up.
Mhm.
I was on the cusp of becoming a senior manager in Accenture Consulting, and it was 8 years. But somehow I was not enjoying the job. It was all SAP. And they will not let me go from SAP because they said you are one of our best SAP training person. So it was becoming a bit of monotonous. So I didn't know whether I should apply for new job or what I should do. One fine day, I got a call from someone that can you meet us? This is the company, and can you meet the HR in a coffee shop? And this is for a very senior position. And I didn't know what to say, but that coffee shop part was very interesting. I said, which company actually called someone in a coffee shop to discuss? So I went in and I met the HR. There was another person also. She was the head of the HR. She explained to me what is asked from my job, my role, and what the role was. So, and I thought through and I said, high time I do something like that, because it was very challenging to form an entire content function in a company. It might be a small company. Centum is under Airtel. It was under Airtel, I should say. It was under Airtel, and small company. But I went to the office to meet the CEO also. I liked the atmosphere. I liked talking to him, and everything else was good. So, and they were offering me a good position, good salary, and they were giving me full freedom to form my own department. So, and only thing they said that we do not have budget because we are a small company. We have this limited budget. I'm giving you the budget. You do the permutation combination and you choose whoever you want to choose. This is one, and this is you have to develop an entire product folio and teach our business development team how to sell it. Because till date they have sold completely different products. They have not sold the training and learning products per se. Training for them is like whatever they created as ILT for their trainers. This company has been known for their trainers. They produce very good trainers. There's a pool of trainers, and they that is their main business. So that is why, and their earning revenue from their content creation was a mere 10,000 rupees.
Oh, okay.
Can you believe it? I was like shocked when I saw the revenue sheet, and I did not know what to do and how to do it. So yeah, so a lot of strategy went into it, lot of talks with the CFO of the company and the procurement team and the BD team and all those stuff. Luckily, the CFO and me, we joined on the same day and we become very fast friend. And excuse me, she helped me a lot to see the finance part of it. She taught me, I would say, how that entire finance thing should be run. I'm indebted to her for that. So till date, whenever I face anything, I give her a ring. She's in Canada now. She has migrated to Canada, but I give her a ring, give her the dead of the night. Tell me. So yeah. So that is how I learned the tricks of the trade. And then slowly I developed the entire product folio and taught the BD people. They went into they and chose college grads. See, I did not have budget. Okay. So I had two senior members, somewhat senior members, who were already there in the system. I had to work with them. And then I had a completely different team, which were all kids with 1 year experience, 2 year experience, just college pass out, all those kind of people I had. And slowly I built my team. And then what happened is history, because I had two huge boards in my cabin. I was given a cabin for the first time in my life. It felt good. So, so yeah, and then there was two huge boards in my cabin, and every morning I used to come in very early, and used to make lesson plans what I should teach them. And they used to come with those notebooks and a lot of chairs they used to pull in from idhar udhar ka cabin, and then they would sit there and diligently take note, and diligently I would give them ID lessons. So how to make ILTs, how to make online learning things, even mobile learning, whatever. And for that I had to also learn and research a lot. And thankfully these kids were very bright, so I always go with my gut feeling during hiring. I have never been wrong, touch wood. So they really worked very hard. And then I fired all the vendors who were looting the company. And I actually went into LinkedIn and got in all young vendors, startups who were just starting. So yeah, because money was short. So that is how I found out those vendors, and they delivered. They delivered, actually. So those things happened, and 2 years passed by. The revenue reached 2.5 crore in 2 years, and it was making profit. So I had a lot of other plans, But I got a proposal to form my own company. And I had a partner also. He said, I will look after the business part of it and you take care of the execution part of it. Sounded right to me. So I put in the papers and I served my notice period and I left it in March 2020. And we had taken an office in golf course and we had started hiring also. We had 2, 3 clients also. And then the COVID hit. We started that office in 15th March and 20th March COVID hit and everything went topsy-turvy. The investors backed out. Office was closed. The guy actually, his wife was expecting, so he drove overnight to Lucknow. And suddenly I was out of job and out of money and everything and stranded in Gurgaon because everything was closed. So that was a very testing time for me. I did not know what to do. And the entire lockdown, I thought, but that does not mean I was sitting idle. I just, for the fun of it, I tried teaching. I taught kids of 5 to 8 years, which I've never done before, from UK, US, Canada, from all the regions, Bangalore, Kolkata, Hyderabad, Bombay, Pune. I created learning curriculum for them and I requested many of my friends who in lockdown, all were sitting idle at home and there was not just enough work. So we created a program for the kids between 5 to 8 years and they actually came in. I was teaching the kids etiquette, attention to details, how to develop them, public speaking, communication, the basic Spanish and French, then how to cook without fire, how to draw, how to dance, how to sing, all those small, small things. And they
Life
immensely enjoyed
skills.
it.
Life
Yeah,
skills,
skills,
basically.
life skills. And they immensely enjoyed it. So we went on doing it. And then after the lockdown was over in July, I started reaching out to my friends that I want to offer my consulting services. So, and I had a network, of course, friends working in different companies at that point in pretty good positions. Suddenly, I was flooded with work and I had to pick and choose that because I was the one doing work. And
Mhm.
they were all strategy work or training need analysis kind of work or leading an entire project with a different product portfolio for a client, which the company does not have any resource to do it. So all those things happened in the interim. And trust me, that was my most creative phase because I did lot of product portfolios which I had never done before. I had lot of business strategies thing which I've never done before. And then I thought, okay, let me register my company now. Single-handedly, I will manage it. So all these preparations were going on, talking to the lawyers. In 2021, October, I got a call on a weekend from HCL Tech, from HR. That person had worked with me in Accenture like about 10 years back. And then he left. I think he had my number. He called me up and said, do you have any ID or training people who would be ready to join HCL? We need for some project. I said, so let me think and I will send you maybe. I have to ask around who is willing to change. Then I just jokingly told him that you always call if you need something from me. You never say, will you work for us? And he said, ma'am, I can't afford you. And I cannot even give you that kind of position because we just don't have it. हम आपको कहाँ afford कर सकते हैं? आप क्यों आएंगे? So I said, हाँ, that is true. What will I do in a tech company? And then it was a Saturday and Sunday evening, again, I got a call from him and he said, I'm taking your CV from LinkedIn. I spoke to my boss and he went through your LinkedIn profile and is she free? Please hire her. I said, are you nuts? What are you saying? What will I do in your company? And he said, I do not know, ma'am. My boss instructed me, so please give the interview. So immediately after 2 days, I think it was a Tuesday, someone took my interview And then again, Thursday, someone from US took my interview. And then I went for a vacation. It was my 50th birthday. So my family, me, we all went for a vacation. There they called me and they said that, we are offering you so and so. I said, I cannot discuss right now. Let me go back. And then they were offering me a bit less money and bit less position. So I declined. And then there was some intervention, something happened. And finally, they gave me the offer in October end, 21. And I said, see, I am committed. I was doing a government project then for some company, Ministry of Information and Security. Actually, it was one of the most interesting work I've ever done in my life. And the curriculum still have my name. I was preparing an entire curriculum for all the DIGs and superintendents of police and all those people on cybercrime and forensics and cyber law. So I did it. I did the entire curriculum and then I did the course designs and everything for them. And then I said I need one whole month to wrap it up because before it goes into development. It was not my KPA. I mean, had I been there, they would have given it to me also. I said I want because it's a government project, I just can't go out and just can't tell the company one fine day that I am sorry, I'm leaving you. Because they're paying me and I actually owe that. This is work ethics. Incidentally, I got two more offers that point. I do not know why, but I got two more offers from other companies. And they were paying me more and they were offering me good roles. But because I had given my words to HCL's interviewers, one of them is my current boss. And that is why I do not go back to my words. That is something which is like my ethics. My word is etched in stone. So that is why I said, no, I will join HCL only. And I do not know what role they will give me, but since I promised, I will join them. So that is how I ended up in HCL Tech in December 21. And initially, it was pretty frustrating for me because it was an all boys club. I was the only woman in every meeting, day after day, month after month. And I, even in project also, I could see barely there were women. So I actually asked one of the account managers, do you have women in your team? In every meeting, I only see boys. So, yeah. So that was it. And then slowly, the first 6 months, it was very frustrating. But yes, only thing that kept me going was that I was given a team of 12 people. Out of that, 9 people were freshers, like first job, off campus hires. And you have to, and it was the OCM team, and you have to teach them how to develop training materials. And they are all functional consultants in SAP. So that was a headache for me. To be very honest, that was a headache for me. But eventually, they turned out to be fine horses, if I might say the quote. And now they are doing wonderfully well. Even in HCL, like all of them are in HCL, only one left. So, yeah. So then, kind of, the trust was built after 6, 7 months. And now I lead the implementation project. Then there are a lot of global initiatives for training and deployment, which I handle. I handle the formation of project academies. I handle the all the domain level capability trainings, and there are many engagements that I handle for the company, and because of my seniority, so those come to me. Yeah, I do not know what is there in future. So far, I am happy with HCL. It has got a great work-life balance, and one good thing: no politics, no negativity, no toxicity, and you can speak your mind.
That is amazing, right? Especially at a senior level.
That's it, as a senior level, yes. So that is my entire journey, Muhua. And what I have learned, the 5 key things: patience. That is one thing which you have to have patience. You cannot get things done overnight. You cannot get promotions overnight, but you cannot get the best roles overnight. Even in TIS, the first 6 months, I did not have any project. Okay. Many a times I wanted to go back to academics, but I said, no, let me try out here. So that one thing one should never forget is that have the patience. If you are doing good performance at whatever you are given, eventually things will work out for you. Only thing is that things never happen overnight in corporate world. You have to have that little patience within. Things will fall into place. Like, do not lose that hope that nothing is coming to me. You will feel frustrated many a times. It is, and there are a lot of other things which will abate or aid that frustration. But the thing is that do not lose the patience. That is number one. Do not stop learning new things. So always, whatever you learn, even if you think, where will I actually apply this? No. Anything that you learn in this corporate world will actually come handy sometime or other. Keep learning from whomever you can, be it a junior, be it a senior, be it any cross functional team, whatever. Keep yourself open to learning. I learn Excel or other things every day from my juniors, from the kids. That is how I have learned actually. So, those are certain things that you should never ever give up. I'm now getting trained in ML and AI and Gen AI. I'm doing courses now, very technical, but I'm trying to do that because that is the in thing in future, right? So if I do not do that, then I will fall short of what is there in future. I won't be able to have a very well versed conversation with anyone. Or there's no age of learning. You can learn from anywhere, anywhere. Do not stop learning. Third thing is be flexible. See, as I always say that this domain, this corporate domain, whatever corporate domain, and especially training and learning domain, it does not work 9 to 5. It is actually 24 into 7. People might talk about work life balance and all those stuff, but they are all myth. What you really want to have is work life integration, not a balance. It has to be a work life integration. Like it should be integrated like this. So only if you find that, you will be able to get through and get forward. And also be flexible. If you say that, well, after 10, I will not work, or after 5, I will not work, it does not work like that because most of our clients are from another part of the world, right? Mostly from Americas. And then the thing is that when they start their day, it is the end of our day. So if we do not cater to the clients, they are our bread and butter. So if we do not cater to the client, oh, what are you really working for? But that does not mean that you will do everything that they say day in and day out, you slog. Say no to certain things, but to work, never say no. Don't say that I will not do it. Because
So
this
I have a
industry also runs on perception.
yes.
So that is the third thing. Fourth thing I would say is that do a very, very diligent time management. If you cannot manage your time, you will never be able to deliver your deadlines. So time management is very essential. If need be, jot it out as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tasks you have to do, how much time. If you are really into that, you do that and get it ticked. But do your diligent time management. And the final thing is work ethics. Attend your meetings on time, respond to meeting people on time, read your mails, answer your mails properly and on time. Never sit on work. Work with, if you do not have a basic work ethics, I'm sorry, but sooner or later people will notice that. So these are 5 things that I would recommend that everyone follow, and you can succeed.
So I'll pick up a few things from your journey. So one, when you mentioned in this school when you were teaching, you got the scholarship. And yes, even though it was a wonderful opportunity, you didn't get the kind of support that was required to be able to go for that opportunity, right? Do you feel today, when you think about it, was there a way you could have got that support by maybe improving on networking? Do you think that might have helped?
Not really, you see, improving networking or something in the academic world does not work like that.
But if you kind of relate it to corporate world, okay, you have similar situations in corporate world also, right? When
Okay, the analogy. Okay.
yes.
See, in corporate world, networking is everything.
Mhm.
Okay. Networking does not mean you lean on someone and say, hello, how are you every day? Or, hello, I'm sending you good morning note every day. No, 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 that is not networking. Networking means that you reach out to different people from different teams. If someone wants to talk to you, talk to them. Attend different events and talk to people. Hear about their perspectives. And also, you should arm yourself enough to talk knowledgeably to those people also. Also, one more thing which helps networking is that if someone is trying, asking for help, help them.
Mhm.
Favors go a long way. Okay. I owe you one, you owe me one, goes a long way. You never know when you want to encash on that favor.
So
That is how
here,
network is built.
so this is very interesting, Sami, because in my coaching discussions with people have said that, okay, my boss assigns me so much work, and on top of that, I'm expected to train people. How do I do that? I have expectations at home also. So
Right.
now, when it comes to helping others, that is seen mostly as an additional burden. So you have a very interesting take here that you never know when that favor will come back to you.
See, I have built a network in with people, be it junior, be it senior,
Mhm.
and it is like dispersed all across all the corporates. Okay, corporate T&D domain, I would say. Now, the thing is, it is not just like, okay, help means I will do your work.
Yes.
No, 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 that is not help. But if someone asks you, do you have any documentation of such and such thing? If you help that person, that person will always be indebted to you. Trust me when I say that if I want anything from any one of my colleagues whom I have worked previously, and by colleagues I mean my juniors, my seniors, whatsoever, I just have to call them. And but they also know that if they are stuck and I know something I have to give them, they'll call me. It goes a long way.
Mhm. And
I will give you a very small anecdote. So my team here in HCL had Enable Now for one of the project. It's a tool. You probably have heard about it, simulation capturing tool. But it is the very latest version of Enable Now, and they were struggling. I have used Enable Now very long time back. I have not used hands-on tool for a very long time, right? So I did not know the nuances and how to help them. And we were not getting any cooperation from the on-site people. And we had to deliver something very fast, very, very fast. They were very bright kids. They were trying everything, but they were stuck because they didn't know. So what I did is that I know that there is a kid in Accenture who really, really knew Annabelle now. I knew three, four. And I called one of them and I said, see, I want you to at least come to a call in phone and hear what the trouble is my team is facing and help them out. Just tell them I cannot share the screen, I cannot do anything, cannot even send you screenshots. You have to just listen to them and tell if you can troubleshoot. He said, I'm in a call, I can't do it right now. I said, fine, when can you do it? And that kid actually gave me time. And in the evening, we had a call. My entire team was there. This guy listened to them and told them to do this, do that. And they got it. They figured it out. And he said, I'm happy to help anytime. Network.
Yeah, across
Because the push that he got
organizations.
in his career was because of me.
Yes.
He says, Sammy, you taught us a lot of things, and I just can't help you this much. I said, that thanks, dude, for remembering it, and I didn't know whom to call. So he solved my problem. See, this is it. This is called network.
Good example. So, Sami, another thing that
And sorry to interrupt, but one network is not always built in among corporates. It's not always built among corporates. Network can be built in any community, and you never know when you might be able to help or you might want to be helped. It can be any job, not related to your job also. It can be any job, right? That is how network is built. So please don't think that it is only your company and your team that you have to build a network. No. Yes, tell me, sorry.
So another interesting thing that picked up from your journey is that every time whenever you have thought of change, somewhere there has been a point of saturation for you when you thought of moving up or moving to a next destination, moving to
Mm.
something that will give you opportunity to learn, right?
Yes, absolutely. Let me start by saying that a job is for bread and butter. It is not always for passion. What you love to do and it is your job, that is very rare in this
Mhm.
world. Very rare. Okay. Not all artists work in their studio and sell their paintings too. They have to work in company as UX and UI designers also to earn the money, right? So yeah. So having said that, yes, when you are doing a job day in and day out, the saturation point reaches. How you overcome the saturation point is $1 million question. If you seek a role within the company where you want to do something and you are given the opportunity, then it is well and good. You can either do the job for your passion and want to enhance your growth or enhance your knowledge, or you want to do it for the money. Then you change company after company and get a hike and know
But
where to stop.
but do you think that's sustainable? Because beyond a
No,
point, like if you are running after money and you don't like the work at all.
exactly. Exactly. That is what I said, no, that you do it either for the money or for the love of it. So if you can enhance your growth, if you can learn new things, it will keep you there. But if you run after money and change company after company, at some time you do not know where to go. You will have money, but you will not have a career.
That
Yes, the sustainability
enthusiasm.
part is very, very difficult. You can't. See, there should be some iota of love also in your job that you are doing. Even if you cannot 100% love it, it is not your passion. But there has to be some bit of love into the work, put into the work. Otherwise, how can you work day in and day out for something that has no meaning for you?
Hmm. Yeah.
Right? So
Yes.
that is something you cannot do.
And then the time when it came to having no job, right? You said that was a testing time for you. But then you had learned so much by that time that you were able to get into a consulting mode, right? You were able to
Yeah.
offer your services. So why I'm picking this up is layoff is common now. For many people, it's a very hard time, especially if there is only one earning member in the family, then it becomes even more
Yes.
difficult. So keeping that in mind, I think it's very, very important to learn something that you can use in such days where at least you can offer your services independently to people,
Hmm.
right? That will at
Right.
least help you stay afloat instead of feeling completely hopeless.
Right. That is true. Because in the last 5 months, I have got call from 6 people who had been laid off from big companies.
Yeah. So it's very common now. Plus, with this AI, we don't know what kind of changes are coming, right? There will be a massive
True.
shift in the way we do things. Learning is essential, absolutely essential, just to.
Yes. Yes. See, to always keep yourself afloat, and for that, you have to learn new skills. Okay. Otherwise, you cannot sustain and survive in this industry. See, when I was in TIS, I did not even know what SAP is. I have never heard the name. But when joined IBM as an ID lead, but suddenly there was nothing ID about it, it was all SAP. So I did not know what SAP is. I did not know how to go about it. And in my very second project, first project was only for 1 month. And in the second project, I was thrown in front of the client face to face. I had to travel to Bangalore, and I was just like practically my manager shoved me inside the meeting room and introduced me as that she would tell you about the content part of it. I remember that moment. It still gave me goosebumps. I looked blankly at the client, and there was another lady sitting there. And I looked back at my manager, and I looked back at my team, and I did not know what to say. So, but my manager said she is fantastic in ID. She will explain the ID theories to you. You see, yeah, that I knew. That I knew. So I improvised, and you won't believe that client is still there in my LinkedIn and still sometimes ask me, how are you? I sat back every night, and we had desktops in IBM, not laptop. I sat back every night after my work, and I did all the courses that were there in the knowledge or whatever that was called, knowledge portal or something they were called. I forgot all the SAP courses. Trust me.
So,
Like,
Sami, I have heard this question from IDs, especially freshers when they come into the system. I'm not working on ID project. What am I doing? So, anything you would like to say to freshers or anybody who has this kind of doubt in their mind? So,
yeah.
what do you
See,
tell
the
them?
thing is that you should always tell those people, even the freshers, that unless you are in Aptera or TIS or Learning Mate, they do core ID kind of projects. Apart from that, nowadays, very, very few companies do proper ID. ID is maybe 10% of the work that they get from the clients these days. They do not do ID these days. And but the company has to take the project to pay the employees, right? It is their bread and butter also.
Yeah.
Sooner they understand it, the better for them. You won't believe how much I miss ID.
Mhm.
I have not done ID since I joined IBM in 2008.
Especially
After I have
when
done my best work, last ID work in TIS. After that, from 2020 to 21, when I was running my own show. Before and after that, I have not done any IT. I've done lots of training projects, but I have not done IT. Not required.
so that's the reality. Basically, when
That's
you're
the reality.
working with different corporate organizations specifically as
Right.
part of their training team, the kind of work that you do is not a full blown ID kind of a work.
Correct.
It's a mix of
Correct.
things.
Yes, mix of things. Also, so funny thing, for the freshers, you see, to keep your creative juices flowing, you can do a lot of things to contribute to your company. Find those things, contribute to them, have a compromise. But if you want to earn your bread and butter, you have to do the project that you are assigned in. You do not have a choice. I learned that a long time back. You know what I do to make my creative juices flowing? I will take all the presentations from my bosses and do it myself. And everyone laughs, my colleagues, like whoever is in the leadership. Why can't you give it to any of your kids and they will do it for you? Why are you doing it yourself when you are flooded with work? Why are you sitting late and doing it? I said, because I want to do it. At least that ensures that I do not forget things.
Some thought process, creative thought process is involved.
Yes, that is it. Find something where you can contribute, come up with innovative ideas, what you can do. But if you're put in a project, give your 100% to the work that you are doing. There is no way out of it. This is something which I've understood, and I'm telling you, this is the hard fact, this is the reality of the world.
So, Sami, one more thing now that we have gone through your career journey, and I know you're
Very
fast
checkered career.
approaching. Actually, very interesting, I would say. And so many transitions, yet with every transition, there have been so many learning points, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot more, not just in terms of my work, but in terms of my soft skills, my behavior, my outlook, how to present myself. When I joined TIS, I had one blazer, and I did not know what to do with that blazer.
Okay.
So, but when I came to consulting, it is always you wear formals
Uh-huh.
to office, to client side, where you do not know when anyone will visit the office. So, at your position, if you're a consultant or whatever, you always wear formals.
That
Even with formals, there are balances like what color can you wear, what you can't wear, business etiquettes are there. So, I have learned a lot from everything. It is not just the work, not just the skills that I've picked up. I have picked up behavior, how to talk with people, in what way to talk with whom, at what level, and then the soft skills, the etiquette part, everything I have learned.
so this is very important, especially see as you grow in your career. Obviously, you are speaking to seniors also, as far as your clientele is
Yes,
concerned,
yes,
and you have to speak to them in a certain manner. So you
yeah.
have to learn how to basically speak and how to communicate with them. That is again a very important skill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not the same way you communicate to your colleagues or your juniors, right, or your
Yes.
seniors.
Yes.
Right, the
Within your
communication part
company,
is very important, business etiquette part is very important. I do not know why people do not pay attention to the business etiquette part. That is absolutely a very very important part, especially when you are handling clients face to face, visiting client offices, and in a consulting practice or in a training and learning domain. You have to dress right, you have to look right.
yeah.
I actually sent one of my kids in Accenture to attend a business etiquette class.
Yeah, especially when it comes to meeting clients. This is very, very important because unless you put present yourself as somebody who can be trusted, who can be respected, it is not
Yes,
going to be
one
good.
client actually, one client in US person actually asked me, I have never seen women from India dress so professionally in a corporate fashion till date. They noted
Yeah.
see, guys, it is not about the expensive thing. It is not about expensive thing. Let me tell you that. It is about wearing the right thing.
Mm-hmm. So now let's move on to skills. So if you have to hire freshers, what
Mhm.
would you look for in them? Assuming that they do not know instructional design. Okay, so one is obviously they can go for courses like from Symbiosis, from other places, SNDT college offers training on instructional design. So, but many people are there who maybe have not gone through that. So, how do you pick up freshers in that case?
90% will not go through it.
Yes.
So yeah, you see, they are fresher, they are coming with zero thing, their skill needs to be built up. That is what you have in mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is important is whether they can speak to you, whether they can speak honestly to you, honestly, quote unquote, and how well they can present themselves and express themselves.
Okay.
In ID, that is very, very important. And if you want, you can, I mean, if it is required, definitely you have to give them a written exam. That is important.
So, what do you mean by speaking honestly?
Not throwing goof ups about their CVs. Whatever there is in the CV, whatever they know, they have to speak honestly about that.
Okay.
Don't bluff in your CV, don't bluff in front of the interviewer. If you do not know, say, I do not know, I'm willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I actually hired someone like that. He said, I have never done this kind of work and I am a fresher and I won't be able to do it. And after 10 minutes, I again get a call from that number. I said, sorry, who is this? You just interviewed me. I said, yes. Then that guy said that, Bam, I want to work with you and I will do whatever it takes, but if you will teach me. I said, are you willing to learn? Yes, ma'am, whatever it takes, I am willing to learn. I'm not very good in English. I said, that is fine. I'll teach you. But will you do 100% work with commitment and willing to learn? Yes, ma'am, whatever you tell me, I will do it. I heard him. He's doing wonders now. Maybe in for a promotion this year.
Okay.
2 years back. 2 years back.
Okay.
So you
So,
see, the thing is that you have to tell the freshers, they should, I always mention that their English communication skills and the written skills should be good in ID if they want to pursue the training and learning field, ID field. But the thing is that every skill can be taught.
mhm.
But commitment, work ethics, attitude, good behavior, those cannot be taught. You
So
come with it.
those are some things you judge with your discussion with them.
Yes, I do. I can
Okay.
teach anyone any skill that they are there in IT field or whatsoever. But if they do not come with a good attitude or a good behavior or a team player mentality or a learning mentality or the willingness to work mentality or they are not flexible, I ask those pointed questions to them and I can see experience also teaches you something, right? So I can tell bluff from genuinity. So I do not hire them.
So now moving on to mid-level IDs, what do you expect them to know? They are experienced people.
Yes. If they for experienced hire, I would also know that they know all the basics. They are a team player and they know how to lead people. Because
Okay.
that is one of the expectations from them that if they are mid level, they would be automatically leading a team.
Mhm.
And where people management is one of the key criteria.
Okay.
So for them, I will see the team player attitude, people management attitude, how much team they have led, and how they have led it, whether they were individual contributors or they have worked in a team, what they have worked with the team, how. All those things are important, because for them the one of the major area is not just to do the work but also to lead a team as well as stakeholder management. The people management is very, very important for them.
And specifically, as far as ID skills are concerned, what would you
Yes.
like basic skills you mentioned that basic ID level work they must know, but once you have reached a mid-level position or a mid-level,
Again you will be able to teach your kids under you nuances of ID. You know ID. I would expect that you know ID. You are in the mid level. So, first is that you should be able to teach those skills, communicate your thoughts and ideas well, and also client management. From ID perspective, it is not just ID. In mid level career, you also have to learn a little bit of management skills. And one more thing I would expect is that they know the strategies or the methodologies that are actually there, not just in anything that they are doing, but in the advanced level ID skills also, like how to do what, and a few tools. Like nowadays, mid level, if you do not know articulate 360-degree, not done. You do not know captivate or or enable now in simulation tools, not done.
so all the rapid authoring tools at least you should be aware and be able to use.
Not all, but at least the major ones.
Yeah, the more popular ones.
Yes, articulate 360-degree, then captivate, enable, you perform,
Mhm.
Camtasia.
Especially when you are doing simulation, software simulations, those are very, very important.
I'm not telling you that you to go do UPK and all stuff, but no, those are difficult tools. No one uses them also these days. But yeah,
So,
the
Sammy,
basic, like if you know articulate 360-degree, it is enough. These days,
mhm.
everything is done by them.
So according to you, what is mid-level? So mid-level means how many years of
Senior consultant,
experience? Senior consultant, like 5 to 6 years of experience, or
yeah,
more
about
than
six to
that,
seven years.
six to
About
seven.
6 to 7 years. Consultant, senior consultant level.
Okay. And from here, if I have to
Others will
move,
be analysts,
mhm.
entry level, entry level analysts and all.
So from here, you when you are moving on to let's say a senior position in terms of instructional design, see, there are so many transitions possible thereafter. Your story itself is full of transitions.
No, I can tell you there were many senior people. So many people have continued in hardcore ID field. Many people have continued. So they have become ID capability head,
Yeah. So,
ID lead in a vertical.
per
Okay.
your experience, what do you think should be the learning path? And if you have gone beyond that now, right? So, when you are hiring somebody at that senior position, so what do you look for?
See, I have hired a few, yeah, in the senior roles. And for me, as in if it is hardcore ID, what I look in those senior positions is that whether that person will be able to perform as an ID manager, manage the entire project end to end, formulate the strategy, manage the stakeholder, the status reporting, the budget, work within the budget, and the parts where there's a scope creep, know the parts where there is a change request needed. All those stuff I would expect. Also, I would know, I would like to know that this person has the capability to formulate a business strategy for any IT project as a proposal to the client. Even if
Okay.
that person is not conversant in the estimation part, but at least that person will be able to know that if this is the project, if this is the requirement of the project, then how many resources are required to carry out this work. That much part I definitely expect from someone in an ID manager role. Not just general management of the team,
Mhm.
but also that part, the business part, business aspect of it. And coaching and mentoring goes hand in hand with that role as well.
Okay. Okay.
That
So,
should be the that should be the skills that they should gear up for.
and see, in many, like we know, it's not always just ID in different companies, right? Companies which are purely into learning consulting kind of a service role, they will have pure ID kind of function. But if you
Exactly,
go
sir.
into corporate worlds like Accenture and EY and these kind of companies, I believe you are not only playing the role of an ID, you also do a lot of project management, and that also means you have to do maybe budget management,
Yeah,
right? So those are also things I think slowly, if people pick up, it's going to help.
that comes with experience, Moa.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. When you are moving upwards, maybe these are things that you should keep an eye out and be open to learning in terms of finance management and
Lot of people in ID after consultant level, they do PMP, project management program. They do PMP, they pass PMP or Prince 2 certification, that they
Mhm.
do, and
Okay,
move to project management.
okay. Anything else you would like to say, Sami, which we can close this discussion?
Only two, three things I would just like to say. Be authentic, okay? That is number one. Be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, if you are cutting slack in your work and if you are taking shortcuts, you will never be able to see eye to eye with yourself. Be your true self. If you do not know things, learn, but do not take a shortcut. There is no alternative to hard work. Yeah, work smartly, but for working smartly, you have to also do a lot of hard work. And do not run after money. Bargain for the roles, bargain for the responsibilities. Do not bargain for the money. If you get the role and the responsibility, money will follow. So don't bargain ever for the money. Bargain always for the roles and responsibilities. And whatever you are doing, bargain for one notch up. Never stop learning and training yourself in different skills. Also, I know this industry is very tough on people. Okay. If you do not grow, you are out. It's up and out policy always. Mostly. Okay. So I'm not there to scare you, but you keep evolving yourself. If you stop learning or do not evolve yourself into further into the journey, you will become stagnant, and no one wants to carry a dead weight when they can have another person replace you easily. If you are drawing x amount of salary and not doing any contribution or value addition to the organization, then with your salary, if you are a senior member, with your salary they can replace you with two fresh people who can do your job. See, for the price of one, they'll get two. And maybe they will be more prone to work or proactive. So this is some error. These are some of the errors I have seen that people in mid-level do. Freshers, they're very enthusiastic to learn. It is very easy to train them. But if you are a mid-level people, person, it is very difficult to train them because they already come with a preconceived notion, preset mind frame. Not everyone embraces change. And then what happens is after some time they become very stagnant, and many companies they do realize it. Sometimes they are laid off, sometimes they are transferred to some lateral department, sometimes they are just be there but do not have any kind of visibility and do not get promotion year after year after year. This is hard fact, but this happens in this domain. So that is why I always say be authentic, be willing to learn, be proactive, be flexible, and never, never ever stop learning. And always keep your options open. After mid level, you can do, you can do a recce of your career journey and see which way you want to take. You can take the managerial position, you can take continue in your core ID path, you can take any other option also. You can even move to operations, project operations. Plan A does not work, have plan B. But think about or do a rain check of your career every 5 years.
That's a
And
very
please don't hate your job. At least put some amount of love into your job. Otherwise, you won't be able to do it. Day in and day out, you won't be able to do it. Even if it is a bread and butter, you won't be able to do it. Put some amount of love into your work. Some. I'm not saying 100% love your job. No one can. I do not. It is a bread and butter for me. I'm very simple and honest about it. There's no creativity in it. I'm a highly creative person.
so you find ways to be creative. Like you said, you take
Yeah, I
presentations
find
from
ways
people.
to channelize my creative juices somewhere else now.
Yeah.
I write, I paint, I do certain things, whatever you take up my creative juices to address to them. But I know that here it is not possible. That is what I wanted to tell everyone. And thank you for having me over. And it was a pleasure talking to you and sharing my learning journey. Very checkered and lot of ups and downs in the journey.
And that brings us to the end of episode 10 and our insightful conversation with Sami. I hope you found her experiences and advice as valuable as I did. From understanding the importance of networking and business etiquette to exploring key hiring considerations, Sami has given us plenty to think about for our own career growth and development. A big thank you to Sami for sharing her journey and offering such practical takeaways. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share it with anyone who might benefit from it. Stay tuned for more engaging conversations with industry experts in the upcoming episodes of Crafting Your Writing Career. Thank you for listening, and until next time, keep learning and crafting your career.